Hi, I'm Larry Puckett, the DCC Guy. Today on the DCC Guy, I want to go back and address a couple of questions that came up after the video I did on using these sugar cube speakers. So what I want to do is show you how to put these together and give you some tips on wiring these two decoders and installing them in some locomotives. So I've got a couple of installations that I did over the weekend using sugar cube speakers, and I'll show you what I did with those. And I've got another older one, and I'll show you that particular case as well. Also, notice I've got my Sony camera back. Hopefully it's going to last a lot longer than it did the first time out of the chute. Okay, before we get started, I want to ask you to take a second to subscribe. Click on the subscribe box, and when that comes up, click on the little bell right next to it and click all. That way you'll be notified every time that I upload a new video. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, what I have here is a selection of sugar cube speakers like I showed you the other day. So let's take a quick look at how to install these. Now the one I showed you from Sugar Cube Audio is an interesting one from two aspects. For one thing, it has this little ledge cast in here around the inside of the enclosure. And that's also true for these enclosures from Tony's Train Exchange. They all have this little ledge that the speaker literally sits in on. And the guys at Tony's Train Exchange say that you don't need to glue them into place. Me, I like gluing them. So what do I do? Well, first off, I use super glue, and I've got two kinds here. I really like these. This is Loctite super glue, and this one is gel control, and this is ultra gel control. The only difference I can see is this one may be a little bit thicker than the regular gel control. And the really nice thing I like about these is, they've got a nice cap that pops off like that. And then if you see these blue tabs on the side, when you push down or when you push in on those, it pushes out a little bead of super glue from the tip here. So it's very easy to control. And you can literally just get a little bead of super glue on the end of a toothpick or whatever you're using. Looks like I'm pretty much out of super glue in this one. Yeah. Oh, there comes just a little bit, enough to do this installation. Okay, at any rate, you can see it's a very, very small amount that comes out. And that's all you need, because you just want to hold this in place. And then I just run the bead of glue around the inside here. Okay, I'm going to get just a little bit more of this other one. That wasn't as much as I thought I had. But at any rate, it's like pushing, toothpaste out of a tube. And that's about the consistency. It's the consistency of toothpaste or jelly or something of that nature. And then you just run it literally around the inside here to get a good bead of super glue on that little ledge. I'm going to get just a little bit more. And it's so much easier to control. You're not going to have super glue glopping out and getting all over your fingers and the component you're trying to glue together. Okay, so I'm going to put that down. And then I'm going to take the speaker and literally you just slide it in here and pop it down into place, and you're done. Now, another nice feature that I didn't point out about these guys the other day, and these are, again, the Sugar Cube Audio speakers that you can find on eBay. If you look at this, there's a white tab here on each end, okay? And it's on the side facing you. And what it says in the instructions is that this is the negative terminal and this is the positive terminal. And it's good to know that, and I'll show you why in a minute. And also, these little white tabs, those are solder tabs. So you solder to them instead of those little spring-like extensions on other types of speakers. So if you look at this one here, you can see it's got those little springs here, and those springs make contact inside the the mobile phone or tablet that they're installed in. So they can be difficult to solder to, whereas I found this one, these speakers here, to be very easy to solder to these tabs. Much easier anyway than these spring ones. Okay, that's drying quite nicely. My finger got stuck to it. Now, this is the other kind that I showed you the other day, and later that day, some more came in from Streamline Backshop. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to install the speaker itself on all of that. So let me go ahead and I'm going to get a bead of super glue here. Again. Okay, there we go. And as I showed you, you just run a little bead around the top of the enclosure like so. And then you get your speaker. And one thing I like to do, since these have these super magnets, you can just put them on a piece of, a screwdriver or the end of a pair of tweezers like this one, and ease it down into place on the super glue. Hold it there, press it from each end to get it firmly in place, and hold it while the super glue sets up. Okay? So that's very straightforward. Then, after it's set up, or while it's setting up, I go ahead and paint super glue around the contact on the outside between the speaker itself and the top of the enclosure. Okay, and that will give you a nice airtight seal. So just do that, and it'll give you a good airtight seal. This is another one that I've done recently. I think you can maybe see the shine here from where I've painted the super glue around here. And that works really, really well for giving you a good seal there. Okay, so that's two of them that you can do. You can get these kind with the ledge. Now let me point out another advantage of these little guys like this. Now, if you look at this, these two here are identical speakers. Okay, it's the same speaker. It's the enclosure that is larger. And you can see it's slightly longer and it's slightly wider than the Streamline Backshop one. And that can be useful when you're installing a decoder in a very tight spot. If you're trying to fit one of these in an in-scale locomotive, for example. And this one is even larger. You can see it's a bit bigger. It's a slightly bigger speaker. I think this is probably 11 by 13. I think this is 11 by 15 or, it's a nice size, though, to fit in most locomotives. Now, what about wiring these in? Well, you have a couple of options. First off, in a lot of cases, I go ahead and just pre-install wires on these. So I've just taken some purple wires and soldered them to these little spring tabs on the end of the speaker itself. Okay, and that's one thing that you can do for doing it up in advance. Let me show you this one here. In some cases, though, you're going to need to go ahead and do the installation in advance. So this is a TCS Wow Sound decoder, and they have two purple wires on the rear end of the particular decoder, and you can just attach those, solder those directly to your sugar cube speaker. It's fairly straightforward. The nice thing about this again is you can pull that connector out of the decoder, do your wiring, and then reinstall it later without any fear that you're going to blow your decoder there. Okay, let's take a look at a recent installation I did. This is an Atlas Jeep 7, and in this case I'm using a Soundtrax plug-and-play decoder. And this is one of those that has a 2-watt output, so I'll remind you again, with 2 watts coming out, and these are only rated at 1 watts, you need to cut the master volume control on this particular decoder in half so that you protect your speaker. Now, what I've done here then is, you can see maybe, pull this up, I've put a little bit of styrene, it's black styrene, on the bottom of the speaker itself. And this is one of those Tony's Train Exchange speakers. And it sits down and floats right on top of that rear truck here. So that's one way of popping it in there. And then on this particular board, here on the side, there's a number of solder tabs. And two of those solder tabs are marked S plus and S minus. Now you won't be able to see that here because of the wires themselves, but the one here on the end is positive and that's negative. So that's where knowing the positive and the negative tabs on the decoder, or on the decoder and on the speaker, so that you can get everything set up properly. Now, is that important though? Well, it isn't completely important if you're only installing one speaker, because with one speaker, in this case, you can determine which is positive and negative, because on the instructions it tells you this is negative and that's positive. So you can easily make the positive and negative connection with these. With others, it isn't an issue, and I explained this in the video, the videos that I did on installing speakers that came out a couple of months ago. And if you go back and take a look at those before you start installing speakers, if you're not aware of the intricacies of this. But basically, as long as you've got one speaker in a locomotive, it's not a problem. It doesn't matter whether it's, putting out sound on the push or the pull or the positive or negative part of the signal. It's still going to put out sound one way or the other. However, where it comes into and is important is if you're having two speakers. Now, some people like to use two speakers, and I showed you the other day that the Sugar Cube audio speakers come in dual versions, and some of the ones from Streamline Backshop come in dual versions. Now, one trick I occasionally do, and I'm going to show you one I've done here, I've installed one of these new Sugar Cube audio speakers here in an older Atlas FP7 that I've remotored with a Mishima CAN motor. And this is one of the Soundtrax plug-and-play decoders right here. Okay, so I've got one speaker in the locomotive, and it's wired directly to the positive and negative terminals here. And you can see I've got this one hooked up to positive, okay? And then I've got the red wire here hooked up to positive. Now this is a two-wire harness going back, and it passes out through the rear window on this locomotive. Now, on the other locomotive that runs with it on a regular basis, I've installed a Digitrax mobile decoder here on top of the motor, and the same type of Sugar Cube speaker you can see here, and it's one of those that from Sugar Cube Audio, and I've got the red to positive. So I've got positive here, and I've got the positive on the other locomotive speaker. So they're going to be in phase all the time. Now, what's this phasing stuff? Well, if you're a Star Trek fan, you know that anytime two things that are out of phase come into contact with each other, it's not a good thing. It doesn't matter, whether it's Romulans phasing in or out or speaker sound phasing in and out, it's not going to be good. And that's true for speakers and the sounds that they put out. Because if you have two speakers putting out the same exact sounds and they're out of phase with one another, they're going to cancel each other out. And you're going to have a very low volume and a disappointing installation. So what I've done here, I've made sure that they're in phase before I installed them here. And then, after I put the shell on, I make the connection between the two. So both of these speakers are running off of the Soundtrax plug-and-play decoder, which, with a 2-watt output, it has no problem driving two speakers. These are a 2-wire harness that I got off of eBay, and you can just make your standard connection right there. And they're color-coded, and it's going to fit together every time. You're going to get it correct. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. Not much to this as long as you observe polarities with dual speaker installations, get them hooked up and running together. And, it's going to work fine. The great thing about this is I've, got a decoder here that probably runs $65, $70 on eBay. This one here, it's an older DH150K decoder that's no longer made. They've got newer versions of it at Digitrax. And I picked these off off of a fellow off of eBay for, half a dozen of them for a very good price. I don't need a sound decoder back here if, I'm going to run both speakers off of the one up here. And I know that at 2 watts, it can drive 2 speakers quite easily because these are only 1 watt speakers each. So that's a little tip that you can try anytime you're going to be permanently coupling a pair of locomotives. That's an inexpensive way to power one of them with a mobile-only decoder and the other with a sound decoder, and then put individual speakers in each locomotive operating off of the sound decoder. So give that a try. If you got any more questions about this, please go ahead, add them to the comments, or, get in touch with me, and we'll go ahead and try to answer all your comments. Well, I hope that addresses the questions that you guys had. Go ahead, give these Sugar Cube speakers a try if you haven't already. They're a great little new innovation in the hobby that allows you to use speakers, multiple speakers even, in locomotives. Have a good week, and we'll see you on Friday with another video from the DCC Guide.